Yeah, y'all know what it is. It's TK the Poet. You already know, so you ain't gotta. Yeah. Just speaking my truth. This is not a diss song. This is me speaking my truth. My truth might not be your truth, but you know what? This is how I gotta give it up. Yeah, I'm tired of people claiming they my equal. We ain't equal. They can't match my level. You ain't stepping, you ain't a step dad. Stop that flexing, ain't no muscle behind that. That's why I draw the line. That damn close nigga, I play 9 that. Yeah. I'm tired of people claiming they my equal. We ain't equal. They can't match my level. You ain't stepping, you ain't a step dad. Stop that flexing, ain't no muscle behind that. That's why I draw the line. That close nigga, I play. We are here. We have Bold Words versus them Red Dragons. We in the building today. Man, look, this is a special match. We had the Poet Has Spoken versus Poet Without Apology. We're going to see which one of these going to come on top of it first. We're going to go ahead and introduce the poets real quick. We're going to go with Poet Without Apology. Tell the people who you are, where you from, and what team you represent.
Poet Without Apology. I am out of Akron, Ohio, and Red Dragons.
Okay, Red Dragons in the building. We're going to go with the next poet. Tell the people who you are, where you from, and what team you represent.
Man, you already know who it is. It's the Poet Dot spoken in the dot because I hit the spot surgically, repping Bold Words coming straight out of Nashville. Let's go.
We are here. We're straight at the corn toss right now. The Poet Has Spoken. Since you 6-0, since you at the top of the league, I'm going to go ahead and give you the choice. Heads or tails? Which one do you want?
Tails.
Oh. It is heads. Poet Without Apology. Who you want to go first?
The Poet Has Spoken.
The Poet Has Spoken. We in the building. Let's get it.
These words are not just lines. It's real life. I am broken. And I constantly generate brokenness. The broken pieces of me were created by another broken person. See, I was taught to be hurt by being hurt by someone that was supposed to protect me, but they chose to treat me as if I wasn't family. You were older than me, understood better than me, but you introduced sex to me, then after making me a dependent of your lust, you broke the trust. You said enough. No longer would you kiss me. Never would you touch me with affection ever again. Now you decided this wasn't right after you stole my childhood's life. See, my words, they never grew scabs. And your decisions, they left me always mad. And people would always ask, boy, what is wrong with you? And no way that I could tell them the truth of how you taught me to do things to you, but I'm a male. So it should be okay, right? This is what we like. Females throwing themselves at me, but you was family. Isn't this you violating me? Or because you didn't penetrate me, it's okay that you led me to the pussy and then took it away from me. You made me into something like a dope fiend, more like an alcoholic craving a drink. Why? I want to scream. Did you do this to me? Never. Never. Never will I trust love. Every love that I come in contact with, I destroy on purpose. I will never believe that my heart is worth it. See, you created a revolving door of pain, hurt, devastation, and destruction. And even when I finally gained my courage to tell my story, the family chose you over me. And I became the victim all over again. This is why love and hate will always be at war inside my chest. This is why lust always wins over trust. This is why I cannot ever believe in love. You were able to sweep the pieces of me under the rug, and everyone else walked over me and left their shoe prints in mud. See, no one cares what happened to me. The only thing that mattered was that the elders in the family never found out this secret. I was told that it would destroy the family, but nobody cared that it destroyed me.
My dad used to tell me no because I'm your dad and I said so. And that would infuriate me. Well, it started not too long ago where I turned into the ogre. Dad, I never get to go to my friend's house. The same friends she saw yesterday and they played. Imagination limited only by innocence. You see, good times meant happy days again, but I couldn't let her go this time. And I turned into this hideous green flesh-eating monster who stole fun right out of the atmosphere. What I mean is, I made the Grinch look like the world's greatest dad. You're not allowed to go over to friends' houses that I don't know. You're not allowed to play that far away from the house. And you can't talk to strangers because I don't trust half of the people that I know. And before you ask me that question again, the answer has been and still is no. And she stomps away pouting. And I wonder where to draw the line this time because she came crying to me again last night. Whispered through a telephone that never rang and through unsung chains of melodies, whispered to me in dreams because I never got a chance to meet her. I just look at her picture and stare. And had it not been for her pain and suffering, I would never have been aware that Amber existed. And I wonder if on the day that she had her picture taken, if she still believed in fairy tales. And what was so special about that day, because she was all smiles. Her eyes could light up the sky for miles, and never in a million years would Amber's family dream that that would be her darkest moment, because she never came home. Her song was ripped from her throat, her innocence stomped on, and her remains crumpled up like waste in a drainage ditch. And the kindest explanation that I can think of is that at the tender age of 9, she turned him on, and maybe he got a little carried away with this one. After all, he had so much love to give, and she simply could not take it. But I hear her name whispered, cried, screamed, and flashed across my computer screen every time a child goes missing. And I look at my daughter and try to explain. Listen to me! I want you to have fun. I want you to make friends. I want you to be free, and I want you to fly. But I can't let the last picture we took of that beautiful smile to be the picture the world sees, because you saw the horrors of this world up close. Just let me be the only ogre you ever see, because I'm your dad. Right now, you're still mad, but that's okay. Just let me pluck a few feathers out of your wings. I know that this stings a little, but I have this need to watch you fly higher and farther than my wings will carry you. And while I desperately want you to understand, I pray to God you never have to. You see, those people are still out there. And until I catch them, it's not safe. But that's too much for me to say, and too much for her to comprehend. So what I tell her is the answer is still no, because I'm your dad, and I said so.
We are here.
Man, we got some special guest judges in the building. We got Clutch. We have Prominence in the building. We're going to bring them up. And also, we got Pussy in the building. DFW star rapper in the building. We got some guests in the building just going to judge this match. And we go ahead and go get to the story. But first, let me bring up Pussy real quick. Pussy, tell the people who you are, where you from, and what team you represent.
Mo Cliff, Dallas, Texas, Pussy, Red Drake.
Okay. We're going to start with the poet has spoken. You have any words or you want to jump right into the scoring?
Well, shit, nah. He brought it. He did his thing. I ain't really got too much stuff.
Okay.
This time.
Okay.
Oh,
Judge Pussy.
hold on, I did have a question. I'm tripping. Hold on, I did have a question. Hold on. Did you, this for you, homie, was that like a rape poem or something? Like, was that about,
so like
I
real
just
talk.
need to get like the whole substance of it. I tried to hang on in there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So real talk, my female cousin, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Nah, it ain't no rape shit.
Yeah, for sure.
My female cousin was 3 years older than me. I was 10. She was the first person I had sex with. So she manipulated that situation.
Okay, for sure.
You feel what I'm saying? But the shit ain't talked about. You know what I'm saying? It's always us that they talk about. They don't talk. You feel what I mean? So I'm out here speaking that truth.
You the first man I ever heard in my life admit me to it. So I take
and that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
That's because I'm living in my whole truth, dog. Like we because it happens. But we don't talk. We don't talk. It's supposed to be a badge of honor. Oh, nigga, you got some pussy. But really? That's what your response is?
All the time it was like a nigga was forced into it, nigga was rushed into it.
It's my whole cousin. She's supposed to be protecting me. Not doing no shit like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Look, it don't be spoken about a lot, man. So, man, look, you got the background story about that. So, we want to get into the scoring. What's going on?
Shit, penmanship, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. So, what do you have for impact?
Impact, I'm gonna give it a 5.
For believability?
A 5.
For substance?
I wanted, like how I was kind of confused on the situation. I was thinking it was like some whole, like him admitting to being raped. I kind of want him to bust it down a little more and like jump into it. I don't know why I thought that shit, but that's what I really took from the, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, it was a hard ass poem. I can't take them from it, but the substance to me, even though the penmanship was a 4 and the believability was a 5, I gotta give it a 3.
Okay. Delivery.
His delivery was like kind of up to par, but it still wasn't like where I would expect it to be to give it a 5 or nothing. So I'm gonna say a strong ass 4.
Okay. Let's tally that up and see what that is. And that is a total score of 21. Let's go ahead and jump to Poet That Apology. You have any words or you want to jump right into the scoring?
I'm glad my nigga ain't jump on this bitch eating no apple or playing and he brought his shit today, you know what I'm saying? So shit. That's the main thing I wanted to get at. Cause I know me and him he got this beef with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to sit back and really listen to my boy today. He represented for the Red Drake.
Okay. What do you have for penmanship?
That's it though.
What do you have for penmanship?
I'm gonna give him a 4.
Okay. What about impact?
It wasn't it was impactful as hell. So I ain't gonna pump fake on him, but it wasn't as much as I would have liked. But I'm gonna still give him a 4.
Okay. For believability,
I'm gonna give him a 5 because I heard them same words growing up and coming up and shit. That shit like back at the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was impactful as hell to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give him a 5 for that shit.
Okay. What about substance?
Substance of the poem, it was a fire too. Like I say, that shit hit home. It was. He did what he was supposed to do. Bye.
Okay, what about delivery?
He ain't deliver it super duper hard. But at the end of the day, I can't disrespect the poem. The piece was fire as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It shit, everything added up, everything connected. Meaningful.
Okay. So that is a total score of 23.
I hope y'all can.
We're gonna go with Cluck. Cluck, tell the people who you are, where you from, and what you do.
Hey, what's good? I'm Klutz. I'm from Russellville, Arkansas. I'm a battle rapper for the URL TV, .TV, Ultimate Rap League. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of writing and shit like that. So I love shit like this.
Okay, look, just to say you're a fan of writing, you write. Don't just skip that line. You don't just write, you write. You're a pen yourself. So, you know, we have to give it up to one of the up-and-coming best pens in URL, man. Look, we ain't gonna slide you in the plate. We gonna give you your flower, your fire, your pen fire. So, you know, I know you're gonna give some great words, some great judgments, and give your insight. So, we're gonna start with the poet has spoken.
Yeah.
So, you have any words? So you want to jump into the scoring?
I want to say I really appreciate the poem. It was very it was deep. It really connected with an issue that I feel like isn't talked about enough. So I really respect that, and I really fuck with that. I think that there was a line later in that I felt like it was layered in such metaphor that I had to say something about it. It was you said you were like swept under the rug and people were walking over you with footprints in mud, and I feel like that's a very layered metaphor, and that's very I really fuck with that. So I wanted to make sure I shed light on that. That's a really dope metaphor.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Fire. Let's get straight to the score. So, Clutch, what do you have for penmanship?
For pen, I was hovering between. Believe it, see that line. I was actually going a little bit lower on penmanship. I thought the rhyming was tight, but I thought that I was like, he's not really selling me with a lot of like fluidity with any types of figurative language a lot. Then he said that line, and it made me give him an extra point. So I actually ended up giving him 3 for penmanship because I thought that metaphor was super dope.
Okay, what about impact?
Impact, I gave impact a 4. I think anytime you speak on an issue that light isn't shed enough on, is going to be higher impact, especially when you can relate to it. I'm pretty sure a lot of men, whether they admit it or not, can relate to being introduced to sex and lust at a young age against their will, and whether they admit it or not. So I think I gave impact a 4.
Okay. So what about believability?
Believability, I gave a 5. I gave believability a 5. There was legitimate pain in like, I'll get into the delivery of it next, but there was legitimate pain in his facial expressions, like the eyes, those types of things. Believability just doesn't land on how you sound; it's how you look when you're saying it. That's where his believability really. I felt like, no, this is coming from a different place. So I gave believability a 5.
Okay. What about substance?
Substance, I gave a 4. I felt like that went hand in hand with the impact. It's not, because the impact works with, like, what are you addressing and how impactful is the message you're saying. Substance is how you are saying and delivering that message, but also how deeply layered you are delivering that message. And I thought that he explained it and broke it down and gave it the I think he truly gave it the writing it deserved for how impactful it was. So I feel like impact and the substance went hand in hand, and he did that very well. So I gave it the same as impact, which was 4.
Okay. What about delivery?
Delivery, I ended up giving a 3. I thought that the delivery, the actual way he was saying the words, it was cool. It was dope. I liked his timing a lot. His timing was really dope as far as like when he would make a pause and then say the line or deliver his next line. I thought his timing was dope, but the delivery was touch and go for me personally. But I thought that, like I said, I felt like his facial expression was telling way more of the story than his actual voice was, which is nothing wrong with that either. So I gave that a 3.
Okay. And that's a total score of 19 from Clutch. Let's go ahead and go with Poet Without Apology. You have any words, or you want to jump right into the scoring?
Similar. I think that I wanted to say about this one, I loved how he I love callbacks, and I love how you brought it back. So the way you kept bringing back references from earlier in the poem, talking about, you brought the saying no part, you brought the ogre part back, you brought these parts back up and brought them back around and put a pin on it very well. So I really appreciated that.
Okay. Let's go into the scoring. What do you have for penmanship?
Similarly, I think they were probably heading. I feel like they were neck and neck with penmanship. I gave him a 3 as well. I love. Conversely, I loved his metaphors a lot. I think that, you know, the ogre metaphor missed me at first, and then I had to, when he went further into it, I was like, oh no, that makes perfect sense. I love that. So what I ended up giving it a 3. Like I said, figurative language and rhyme schemes really, land for me, and the way you had them internally were dope, but it could use improvement as always. I feel like all of us as writers can improve. So I gave it a 3.
Okay, that's a fact. What about impact?
Impact, I gave a 4. I'm a father. So I'm a father of a son, but I feel like the message is still the same message, man. Protecting them from the world and ending up looking like the bad guy is like, man, you could put that on the back of my car. Like that's something that all fathers, I feel like, especially good ones, have to end up dealing with. And so I gave impact a 4. It's a very impactful message.
Okay. Believability.
5. I think that he did phenomenally. He came off phenomenally as a legitimate, like a father, like a concerned father, like a father that genuinely cares, and like that it was genuine rage at points. I loved the believability, you could tell. I actually also liked his posture, and like the fact that he's delivered this standing up. I don't know if he usually does. Obviously, this is my first time seeing him, but that isn't a poem you should read sitting down.
Facts. I like the pulling out the feathers from the bag, the action. That was fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful.
What do you have for substance?
Substance, I ended up giving a 3. I feel like a lot was on the surface for me personally. My interpretation, I feel like a lot was on the surface, and it didn't really need much substance. I feel like the impact is blatant and it's right there in your face. So I didn't give substance. Didn't give it super high marks, but it was enough there. I gave it 3. It was definitely above average.
Okay. What about delivery?
Delivery, if I could have gave it 6, I would have. Delivery, I gave a 5. I felt like his delivery, the dad voice is what I'm like in my mind. I'm calling it his dad voice. He did it twice, and I think that he executed it to perfection. If his kids were in the house, I guarantee you they sat down. Like that was that. Like I said, if I could have given his delivery a 6, I would have. Very, very impressive. And the fact that he could turn it on and turn it off.
Look, amazing. Man, that was a 20 from Clutch. Man, I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get to the next judge. Let's go with Promise. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Hi, everybody. I'm Promise Noel. I am a poet, a spoken word artist, a 3-time self-published author. I teach people how to publish their own work. an event curator, and a nonprofit advocate. So very holistic, very grassroots work. That's my MO. That's what I do.
Okay. And don't you just have a book that just came out? Let's talk about it.
I do. Last Thursday. If y'all are welcome to look it up because I feel like it plays an intricate part in the book. This book, it is a poetry book like my first two ones, but it's more interactive. You can take notes, you can journal. It's very self-reflective, very healing. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna feel sympathy for me, for yourself, but you're gonna, feel relieved. You're gonna feel refreshed, and that's how I want people to feel when they read my work, because that's their experience with me in person. They feel like a breath of fresh air. So yeah, it's titled On the Way to Becoming, in the words of the poet that I am. And I'll put it in the comments in case y'all want to support your girl.
Hey, go ahead and drop that in the comments, man. We need that. Look, we're going to get into, we're going to start with The Poet Has Spoken. You have any words, or you want to jump right into the score?
I'm kind of going to go I'm gonna start with the words and my perspective. So I literally had told TK like right when I joined, because he was like, you joined right on time, and I texted him and I was just like, taken aback in a good way, because it caught my attention. Like I immediately knew what you were talking about, what you were referencing, probably within like the first 30 to 60 seconds. And I feel like as a woman who's been I didn't have sex, but, that dealt with molestation from my own big cousin who was 3 years, older than me. I could relate with you on that. And I love poetry, but I love it even more when I'm able to relate to the piece that's being spoken about. And it doesn't take 10 or 12 lines for me to understand what they're discussing. So I really appreciate that. I love your vulnerability, because that's not easily discussed. But I feel like it needs to be discussed more. So I feel like you should feel proud of yourself. And I hope, you felt like you released some pain and some trauma, because you never know, who is listening to you, who is, appreciating and who is inspired about that, as far as a young man that's, on the panel and overall in the competition. As far as the scores, I would say I give you a 5 across the board. One, because when it comes to like the delivery, I'm gonna point that out. I can't really tell another poet how they should deliver something that happened to them that is a true story. I can't really tell you, oh, you should have said it like this, or oh, just the fact that you were able to share that, and out of all the poems that you could have chose from or you could have recited, you chose that one. So I really loved it. I can't hear you, CK.
I appreciate it.
Let's go ahead and jump to Poet Without Apology. You have any words, or you want to jump right into the scoring?
I would say for him, I really do appreciate like how you were able to jump back in terms of like the voice, like your father's, and then you. That made it very interactive. That made it even more engaging. So for that, I gave you a 5 on that. As far as a substance, I would give you like a 3. But everything else I feel like was a 5. The delivery and how you stood up, like how the other poet stated, that's not a piece that you want to sit down and perform, or that you want to deliver to us. I feel like that's a piece where it's called to attention. It's meant for everybody to listen and to be in tune with what you're saying. So
Okay, that's fire. That's a 23 from Promise. 23 from Promise. Let's go ahead and give a lyrical cue. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Hi, I'm Lyrical Hugh, the original poetess on Facebook. I am a writer. I love poetry, and this is only my second time judging, but I absolutely love being on this side of the competition, because boy, they seem to bring it every competition, and every poet is different, and I really enjoy that.
Okay. We're gonna start with The Poet Has Spoken. What do you have for penmanship?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna make this real quick and simple, because I feel the same way as Promise. I gave him a 5 across the board, because every day that you hear a man come forth and speak his truth. And just like her, off rip, as soon as he started talking, I knew what he was speaking about. Because unfortunately, I have been in his shoes, and for me, it was a brother, and it was deep, and it hit home. And I was very proud of him for, coming forth and sharing his truth with us, especially not knowing what everybody's reaction would be. So I thank him and appreciate him for that.
Okay. Let's jump with a poet without apology. What do you give him for penmanship?
Penmanship, I gave him a 5. Okay. I'm a single parent, but just like he is with his daughter, I was like that with my kids because I said so, and that was. And for substance, I gave him a 4. Okay. He got a 5 for impact. Okay. And a 5 for believability, and a 5 for his delivery. Because, like the other couple of poets, I do believe that standing, he did command attention, and he stood and made his intentions known. He knew the assignment and he delivered it.
We are here. We have a battle going on. Fire. Bold Word versus Red Dragon. The Poet Has Spoken versus Poet Without Apology. We in the building for this. Let's just go ahead and break down these numbers and see who came away with the dub today. Let's go and get into it. We're finna get into the numbers real quick. We're gonna start with The Poet Has Spoken. Pussy gave you a 21. Plus gave you a 19. Lyrical Q gave you a 25, and Promise gave you a 25 with a total score of 90. And also, let's go ahead with Poet Without Apology. Pussy gave you a 23. Plus gave you a 20. Lyrical Q gave you a 24, and Promise gave you a 23 with a total score of 90. It is a draw. It is a tie. But y'all already know what's going on with a tie. Y'all gotta spit 1 minute poem, a 1 minute poem, and the judges, y'all have to grade this on a point scale from 1, 1.1, 2.2, 3.3, all the way up to 5. It can't go over a 5. So if you think they got a 3.1, 3.2, that's how we're gonna grade it. We're gonna flip the coin. Poet has spoken. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It is tails. Poet Without Apology. Who you want to go first?
The Poet Has Spoken.
Okay, the Poet Has Spoken. 60 seconds.
Let me tell you about the walking thing. You see mindless, crazed, heartless things. That's the same thing I see when I look into society. Dope, got them hung off of getting highs rope. Mindless, not conscious of what they do, living in their own world, not caring about the constant ridicule. See, they crave. They only caring about where they get their next hit from. And some flip the script, aiming and pulling the trigger at their target, not caring if they hit or miss. Now we got another mother or father grieving over their seed from being the target that they didn't even have a choice in. See, hoods infested by zombies, veins infiltrated by dope, noses invaded by coke, whether they snorted or smoked. Now they bathe themselves in PCP water and their souls have no sight to see what is truly the reality. And y'all know people out here wanting to be like Jesus but not trying to live like Jesus, and they even say assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, but the whole time they got their peace and they want to be upon you.
Motivation for black boys. If you want to win, run. Like Usain Bolt has been running away with records since Runaways had referees. Lady Justice never opens her eyes. She doesn't see race nor how you are pressured to run in one. Understand, the referee uses guns to start races. To question the referee, the rules, the race, or the gun is to play the race card. Don't. Speeding is the fastest way for the referee to end your relay. To win, moonwalk your existence back till America is great again. Lighten your shade till Zimmerman is no longer suspicious of your shadow. But if you ever hear the referee say, run, boy, you better run. Like the 2 seconds Tamir Rice got off the starting line, like you only have 1 minute, like this poem, forget about winning, justice is not watching, just run! You already know what happens if you don't.
Okay, we're gonna start with the poet has spoken. Pussy, what did you give him?
Well, I'm gonna give that all in all a 2.5.
A 2.5?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with poet without apology. What do you give him? Look, I need straight scores, just straight scores.
He started it off with the black man run shit, so I don't know, he tried to catch me. But if you want just straight out, me not saying no, I'm gonna give that a 2.
Okay. Let's go with Klutz. What did you give him?
All right, so for the poet has spoken, I gave his poem a 4.2. I thought that it was really dope. I thought that I really like the aggression behind it. I loved the aggression behind it, the delivery of everything. I thought that subject matter was dope too. I gave it a 4.2. I ended up giving Poet Without Apology a 4.5. I thought that he, like, the alliteration he kicked the poem off was amazing to me. I think that the message was really dope too, and there was a lot of references, a lot of race relay, and everything connected to the next thing. So I really thought it was dope. I gave it a 4.5.
Okay. Lyrical Q, what you have for the poet has spoken?
The poet has spoken, I gave him a 4.5 as well. And for Poet Without Apology, I gave him a 5.
Okay.
So I gave the first one. I'm sorry, can you the first poet?
The poet has spoken.
Yes, the poet has spoken. Gave him a 4.5. It's just his energy. Like, to me, he just knows how to approach his poems, and he actually knows how to engage the audience, not just hook them and then drift off. As far as Poet Without Apology, gave him a 4.3.
A 4.3. Okay. Let's go ahead and tally up these scores and see what is what. Okay, this was real close. This one is real close. When I tell you this is close, like, this is amazing close. Poet has spoken. You got a 15.7. And Poet Without Apology got 15.8. So Poet Without Apology come with the dub today. They come with the dub today. Poet Without Apology win by a smidgen. This was a battle to the end.
Good shit, bro.
What y'all gotta say?
Good shit, bro.
Yeah, this was a good match. Poet has spoken. You you brought it. You dope, and I gotta give you my props.
So are you, bro.